Hi everyone, it's June 8, 2009. I'm Dwight Schmuck. This is the Schmuck Look. This is going to be kind of long, so I'm going to have to break it into probably two parts. And it's going to be convoluted, so you're going to have to probably watch it once or twice, twice or three times to really follow everything. But I'm going to try to make some points here today that, being the schmuck I am, well, I got to make them, and this is the way. First off, I'd like to talk a moment personally to Pink Flamingo. Thank you so very much for your kind words and for being the viewer you are. I do hope you pass this one on today because, son of a gun, like I said, I think these are points that really need to be made, and they just haven't been lately. And I think it's time to start it again. First off, I found in the BBC this morning, military spending sets a new record. Global military spending rose 4% in 2008 to a record $1,464 billion. So we're talking $1.5 trillion, up 45% since 1999. So it rose a lot in less than a decade. This is a quote, the global financial crisis has yet to have an impact on major arms companies' revenues, profits, and order backlogs. Peacekeeping operations, which also benefit defense firms, rose 11%. Another record was set with the total of international peace operation personnel reaching 187,586, said SIPRI, or Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. Think about that. You've got nearly 1/5 people who are peacekeepers. It's real tough to keep the peace when you carry a gun and you're shooting at people. Granted, those people are shooting at you, but you're getting my drift. You're in somebody else's country trying to enforce somebody else's rule. And I'm going to get to a large root of this in just a moment. Okay? We're going to go on here a little bit. At the world's aerospace and defense industry prepares for next week's Paris Air Show centenary, their 100-year show, it seems much of the focus is to shift away from troubled civilian aircraft makers, which are struggling, no kidding, from recession-hit airlines, towards the companies that make fighter jets and other military hardware. In total, the 100 leading defense manufacturers sold arms worth $347 billion during 2007, the most recent year for which reliable data are now available. And nearly all the countries were American or European. Do you think? What I'm getting at here, folks, honest to goodness, I'm only going to talk about us, the United States, just for a moment. We've got 700 military bases worldwide. We're in other people's backyards as a presence because, oh Lord, the domino theory might just come back in style someday, so we've got to have a presence. We've got to be there and show them they can belong. To what? To whom? That's their questions. They want to belong to them. Now, these countries have their own problems, and I grant you that. Lots of civil wars, etc. But if Europe and America got together and said, you could only sell your damned weapons to us, we are no longer going to allow you to put the match to the conflagration. I'm thinking, peace just might break out. We are supplying a lot of weapons to a lot of people who are not using them with us. Rather, they're using them against us. As a side note to this, I've noticed a couple other stories in the BBC today about in Pakistan, who we have given, 12 billion in aid, military aid, humanitarian aid, but lots of aid, and a lot of that money has, well, it hasn't been used properly, let me say. Again, hey guys, we're supplying the people who use the weapons against us. Why are we doing that? Well, it's like this war on terrorism, because you're not picking out a spot where the enemy is. You've just got to keep fighting in different places all the time. And the people who start this, who really start this, sitting in those executive boardrooms, sitting in those private rooms, sitting in those Oval Offices, shall we say, they don't get to enjoy them like you and I do. Pink Flamingo, you said about you hate to see me so emotional, but I get that way when I talk about us. We have got to get it together. Folks, I'm starting to run a little short here. Stay tuned for part 2. Please. And let me get out of here.